What's good, YouTube and Twitch? We're here with the open Discord here on the live stream, and there is huge news as new Timelords drop monsters from Dungeon Dice Monsters, and that's just the first two cards I've seen the pictures of. I haven't read these effects, but I'm just hyped to see some Dungeon Dice Monsters support. So let's go ahead and get into this, and then we'll talk about it a bit with the people here. Orgoth the Relentless. I had to double check. I took a look. I'm like, this is Dungeon Dice Monsters. Am I crazy? And Master Denderflax over here was like, you're not crazy, John. You're not crazy. And the hype is so real. I had to quit the game I was in and get to this video. A level 7 Earth Warrior effect monster. Attack 2500, rivaling the Dark Magician. Attack 2450. Okay, so once per turn, you can roll a dice 3 times. True to that dice roll in Dungeon Dice Monsters. This card gains 100 attack and defense times the total results until the end of your opponent's turn. Then if 2 of the results are the same, apply one of these effects, or if all 3 results are the same, apply all of these effects. Oh my gosh, this guy's got massive attack and tricks. I'm liking it. It's not busted yet until I read these, but I'm liking that first part. That was pretty good. 1 or 2. This card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect until the end of your opponent's turn. All right, that's pretty strong. So he's going to be busted, like buff, and unable to do. 3 or 4. Draw 2 cards. What? Wow. 5 or 6. This card can attack directly during this turn. The cheese is so real with this card. That's crazy. Wow, that's so insane. So like basically if 2 of them are the same, they'll be within this, but if you hit all 3 the same, which is like never gonna happen, you're not usually gonna hit that, you'll get all of them. So basically you just have to have 2 of them line up. The first effect, like no, you're gonna get buff basically off the first one. You're probably somewhere in the 32 to 35 range most likely, but okay, so there's like no control at all. Like it's completely random how busted this card's gonna be. But if you actually hit all 3, it's insane. But just hitting any one of these is pretty big, pretty cheesy. I like where this is going. And it's a once per turn, and there's no restriction on his summon at all, is what I'm noticing too. You can just pendulum summon this man out with no restriction to his summoning. That's actually pretty darn cool. But obviously, like, control cards like Avion are more realistic, and they're not even being played today. I just really like this card, and I think it's really fun. I don't think its competitive aspect will be too there, but the cheese is so real. All right, let's get to the Time Lord, probably the more realistic card for the meta play. We've got Sandion, the Time Lord. All right, so Sand, so the Sands of Time. Attack 4000, defense 4000, one of the beefier Time Lords. Cannot be special summoned from the deck. You can only control 1 face-up Sandion, the Time Lord. Now remember, you can't ignore the summoning condition, I believe, with Time Maiden, if I'm not mistaken. You can control 1 face-up Sandion, the Time Lord. You can, if your opponent controls a monster while you do not, you can normal summon this card without tributing. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Any battle damage inflicted to either player from a battle involving this card becomes 0, basically making his stats somewhat less relevant. 4th effect, 4 effects, all right, 5 effects. At the end of the battle phase, in which this card battled, inflict 2000 damage to your opponent. That's a pretty big punch, 1/4 the life points. Once per during, so they've messed up the text. I'm sure that's once per turn. During your standby phase, shuffle this card into the deck. All right, so a lot of the typical Time Lord stuff, but a 2000 punch with a 4000 baseline. You're not the worst Time Lord, you're not the best Time Lord, but you're all right, and that's a pretty nice buff. I respect it. I think it's an all right Time Lord, and they were missing damage output in a lot of senses. I feel like this is probably better than the fire one, but not as good as the water. All right, we get into the, oh, this is the busted Link monster. I'm so scared to read this, guys. I'm really scared. This was so busted in the anime. They released it with the anime effect. And we got a new Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. I'm so scared that I've got to go ahead and read the Topologic Gamble Dragon. I've got to read it, guys. I can't not. Link 4, Dark Cybers effect monster. Attack 3000, top, left, right, bottom, going all 4 ways. So it's only one downward arrow, but side-to-side arrows, helping you, you know, get to the extra link. You can only use this card's first or second effect per turn and only once that turn. So hard once per turn on both effect. If this card is already in the monster zone, if another monster or monsters is special summoned to a zone a link monster points to, discard any number of cards randomly from your hand, max 2, then your opponent discards the same number of cards randomly. So they did balance that out a little, but you're still going to be able to hit your opponent, discarding cards that you didn't really need, hitting them, but at least it's not like, ha, I'm going to get your whole hand. They've limited it to 2, and they make you give up resources to do it. Oh, that's a little bit of relief. Number 2, if this card is extra linked, so like I said, the arrows support that, you can have your opponent discard as many cards from their hand as possible, up to 2 cards. Oh god, I was scared again. Okay, they've nerfed him relatively well. They've limited his abilities. But that's still 4 cards in a turn if you get both. I don't think it's restricting it. You can only use, oh no, you can only use either this card's first or second effect per turn. Okay, so you can only use one. They've really limited this well. No matter what, you're only getting 2 cards from them. But the second effect allows you to do it without using your resources. If you get all the way to extra link, which I suppose you could get there in World Chalice. It's 2+ effect monsters specifically. World Chalice won't necessarily have a problem getting here if you're going to use your resources in that kind of direction. In addition, if your opponent's hands become 0 because of this effect, inflict 3,000 damage to your opponent. They did this right. They did this relatively balanced, but it's still really, really good. I think it's balanced, it's powerful. You can get advantage. You've got to spend so much advantage and set up your field and risk so much to take those cards. It's 3K, yes, it's 3,000 attack, chat, but it's 4 monsters. It's a downward arrow, but it's also an upward arrow. I think I still respect this, what they've done to him. It's going to be good. Don't get me wrong, this is pretty good. It's just not anime busted, and I'm very glad for this. This will probably see some slots in YCS top list. I'm not gonna lie. This is gonna see its way in somewhere and get abuse how we didn't see, but the immediate thought is World Chalice, I think, for most of us. What do you guys think in the open Discord? Had you read the anime effect before?
No, I haven't.
Alright, well, the anime effect just made it like discard the whole hand and stuff. It was crazy.
Alright, the whole hand would be ridiculous.
The whole hand would make Trickstar's god.
I'm assuming this is going to be like Battles of Legend. This collector pack looks like it's headed towards Battle of Legend levels. Remember we got the Time Lords last year? And like they even mentioned cards from the show from all eras, and we have a Dice Monster card. It feels like these should be Battles of Legend-esque cards. So let's get into number 90, Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. A rank 8 Light Warrior Xyz effect, attack 2,500. Defense 3,000, any 2 level 8 monsters. So generic 8 support. This could be big for Blue Eyes if it's good, and it is a Galaxy Eyes monster as well to note. You can use this card's second and third effects with this card's name only once per turn each. So hard once per turns on each, but you can activate them both. Its first effect cannot be destroyed by card effects while it has a Photon Xyz material. Watch out, boys! I don't think we're gonna have to worry about that too much, but go into the second effect. When an opponent's monster's effect is activated, quick effect, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, negate the activation, then if the detached material was a Galaxy card, okay, alright, destroy the activated card. I don't think you can really rank up with it, like, you're not placing this on top of things that are already Xyz, so I think a lot of these effects are pretty balanced, and Blue Eyes players aren't just going in. Alright, the third chance at this, the third effect. During your opponent's turn quick effect, you can activate this effect, choose 1 Photon or Galaxy card in your deck, and if you do, add it to your hand and attach it to this card as an Xyz material. So no real Blue Eyes potential at all here. It's actually sticking to Photon and Galaxy support. It's actually doing what its name intended to do, and not just lending itself to the Blue Eyes deck, which is alright. By far, out of all 4 of these cards, the most actually exciting card for the meta is Topological Gamble Dragon. It has the most likelihood to turn up in top cut deck list, and if we're seeing this truly before our WCQ season, I really think some of those top players could bust this in and make it really good. My personal excitement, though, definitely goes out to Orgoth. Oh man, this is legacy support and nostalgia like no other. What are you guys most excited for out of this?
I think Topologic Gamble Dragon seems really, really fun as far as like a World Chalice support. It just seems like something that you could use and just blow out the game.
Yeah, and World Chalice usually doesn't have problem getting cards back to hand to discard. So I do agree. He seems to be really set up for this deck. I do like that they made it so he can't discard multiple times. I think they balanced it out very, very well, and I'm happy with it. Thank you guys so much for joining live for this one. 93 of you guys in the YouTube chat, and we got quite a few also in the Twitch chat. Be sure to join more of the live streams. We're still going to be live streaming for a bit tonight. We got a few deck building challenges and extensions, so if you're watching this video, we might be live on YouTube and Twitch right now, guys. Come and join.